Hey guys, this is Tauna, and today we're going to be talking about the secret lair commanders that are coming with the new PlayStation Superdrop. There is a whole bunch of commanders here, so we're going to go through it quickly. Keep in mind that these will be available in non-foil at a later date from your LGS, as long as it's a WPN store, so you're going to be able to pick them up from there. We're going to be discussing how to build them and kind of getting an idea of if you like them or not. Now, before we do get into that, make sure you guys head on over to the Ko-fi if you are looking to get a deck list made up. I have a special code at the moment, 15% off for it, because we're going through a little bit of financial turmoil at the moment, so trying to get, a little bit of extra money. So everything, that goes towards that is hugely appreciated. So let's go through. The first one here we've got is The Last of Us. With this one, we're going to have 4 new commanders. We've got Ellie Brickmaster and Joel Resolute Survivor coming from the first game. And then from the second game, you've got Abby, Merciless Soldier, and Ellie, Vengeful Hunter. All of them care about, tokens, and care about either tokens dying or creating tokens or sacrificing as well with the Ellie, Vengeful Hunter. Now, personally, I like this pairing of them together. Joel, Resolute Survivor, and Ellie, Vengeful Hunter makes some crazy combos. And then the Ellie Brickmaster here to be able to create your own stuff, and then give the Abby to someone else to create even more is great, if you do it the way I'm going to suggest. So looking at Joel, Resolute Survivor, and Ellie, you want to make sure that you've got a whole bunch of stuff to create a whole bunch of tokens, basically, right? Like the Cordyceps Rat King that comes with the actual Secret Lair drop, but stuff like Chatterfang as well is great. Anything to just make more tokens up for yourself to be able to sacrifice. And then benefits for all that sacrificing with Ellie's Rage here, making it so that you can clear out opponents' boards by sacrificing your own little 1/1s and stuff, and then Zelaport Cutthroat to burn out your opponents and gain yourself some life as well. And then finally, you can just add a whole bunch of different sacrifice payoffs with stuff like Corvold, Fey Cursed King, and Mayhem Devil. The great thing with Ellie, Vengeful Hunter is that you're paying 2 life to sacrifice something, right? If you've got enough of these things out there, then you may even go net positive with that life gain, right? Like if you've got Blood Artist, you've got, the Zelaport Cutthroat, that kind of stuff, then you may be able to just sacrifice all your tokens, deal a whole bunch of damage, give stuff indestructible, and then also, potentially even gain life from that as well. All right, then we've got the Ellie Brickmaster and the Abby Merciless Soldier. This one here, I thought that it would be very interesting to build this as like a goad deck, right? So you're going to be making it so that your opponents are creating additional 1/1 black fungus zombie creature tokens whenever they attack your opponents. So we're going to goad those. Then we're also going to be able to use use Abby to donate Abby to someone else to create, again, a whole bunch of 1/1s for ourselves to potentially be blockers. So we're going to do a whole bunch of goad stuff here, goading opponent stuff, goading, making it so that their stuff can't block if it's goaded. We're going to gift opponents a whole bunch of cards, a whole bunch of creatures as well, with stuff like Varchild or Dual Nature, gifting opponents a whole bunch of creatures that are then also going to be goaded, which is great. And then we've also got stuff like Spiteful Banditry or Hansk Slayer Zealot, so that way we get benefits from our opponent's creatures dying, because if we're giving 1/1s to everyone and then they're all having to attack, then there's potential that they're going to be able to block their, little 1/1s. So we're going to do this so that way, they block their 1/1s, but we're going to get benefits from it, whether it's treasures or draw cards or whatever. All right, next up we've got Kratos. Now this one here is I'm not sure. I like the idea of it, but I'd like to see how people build it. Personally, I think you can build it a number of different ways, but the way I was thinking was, 1, adding in goading and ways to discourage your opponents from attacking you, right? So, Kazul here, so that way you create some ogres if someone attacks you. You've got the goading here from Disrupt Decorum, so opponents have to attack, right? However, I like the idea as well of making it so your opponents don't attack, so then taking more damage. Stuff like Silent Arbiter, now they can only attack with one thing, or Varchild again, so we're donating opponents a whole bunch of survivors, and then they can't attack with all of them, right? So Kratos punishes people if they don't attack, which is great. But then you can also make it so that we can attack with our stuff, like whether it's extra combats with like Battle of Olympus or Dolmen Gate. So when we attack with stuff, we're not worried about it taking damage, right? It's just a way to kind of encourage us to be fine to attack, because he deals damage to us as well if we don't attack. While also, make it so opponents are less likely to block, or because you're still going to be able to potentially kill their stuff, and your stuff doesn't die. All right, then we've also got the other God of War drop. This one here is the God of War Ragnarok. I think they called this one the Norse one, and the other one was called the Greek one. So with this, we've got the pairing here of Kratos, Stoic Father, who whenever you attack with gods, or whenever a god dies, you're getting experience counters. He's putting +1s on stuff based off of your experience counters. And then Atreus is drawing you cards based off experience counters, and then also dealing damage to opponents. So let's have a look. We've got a whole bunch of gods, right? That's what you really want to go into, gods. So the Freya that comes with the drop is amazing. Surtur as well. I really like this Surtur. It was only from the Assassin's Creed, like starter kit, I think it was. But whenever you cast a historic, guess what? Gods are historic because most of them are named. You get to deal damage to things. You get trample. He's a god himself. You've also got stuff to benefit you having counters, whether it's, the experience counters you're getting, or whether it's the +1 counters with the Herald of the Secret Streams here. Make it so that Kratos can get through, or Atreus, if you really want to attack with Atreus, go ahead. Get him through as well without being blocked. And then finally, more stuff to do with experience counters. There is a couple really great cards to do with experience counters with Othari and Kalamin to get you Kalamin. I probably butchered that one. Get additional experience counters and do more stuff with your experience counters here as well. Into the Uncharted one here with Nathan Drake, Treasure Hunter. He's just a classic theft card, right? He's got First Strike. You get to cast stuff with mana of any color for stuff that you've got, or activate abilities as well, which is great. And then also, whenever he attacks, you get to exile the top card of each player's library, including your own, and then you can cast it. Now, there's a few different things here. One, additional ways to get theft in is going to be good here, I think. Like, more ways to be able to steal more stuff and be able to cast more stuff from your opponents. Laughing Jasper Flint, I have a deck around him. He's really, really fun. And then Gonti as well gets you treasures every time you cast something that you don't own. You can go really well with that, right? You've also got stuff to benefit the fact that you've got a whole bunch of creatures that aren't yours, but you own them anyway. Don Andreas is amazing here, giving all of those creatures Death Touch and Menace, or Adia here, Edia, I think that's how you pronounce it, is going to make it so that if they happen to die, you're going to get to draw cards. You get to also steal something, which is good. And then finally, you've got your payoffs for casting from exile. Passionate Archaeologist is amazing. Nelveshne, I am butchering all of these pronunciations, gets you a whole bunch of, copies from casting stuff from exile. That's the thing, is theft is mostly casting from exile. You're exiling opponent's stuff and then casting it. So both of these go really hard there. All right, and then we've got Horizon Forbidden West, I believe this one was. But either way, it's Aloy, Savior of Meridian. So she is going to care about artifact creatures attacking. Whenever one or more artifact creatures you control attack, you're going to discover X, where X is the greatest power among them. The funny thing about her is, that's very, very interesting, is she's Simic. So you're doing Simic artifact creatures, which is so unusual. So with this, obviously, we need big artifact creatures. We've got the Blightsteel Colossus that comes in the drop. We've got Kappa Cannoneer here, who's going to get huge and then not be able to be blocked. We've got stuff like Iron Spider, Stark Upgrade, or Research Thief that care about your artifact creatures, whether it's buffing them up or giving you card draw based off of them. And then finally, we've got other benefits for casting artifacts, because we're going to be primarily going after artifacts, right? Artifact creatures, artifact casts, whatever. Uthros cares about that. Simulacrum Synthesizer cares about that. Simulacrum is actually great because it's going to get you those, Urza constructs that are going to get huge, because we're going to have a huge amount of artifacts out there. All right, and then our final one here is the Ghost of Tsushima, Jin Sakai. So Jin Sakai is very interesting. So when he deals combat damage to a player, you're going to draw a card. Then this part is very important to note. Whenever a creature you control attacks a player, now that is when it attacks. So that's an attacks trigger, not after that. If no other creatures are attacking that player, choose one. Either it gets double strike or it can't be blocked. So I'll talk about why that is relevant in a second, but you can potentially get, 3 triggers here for attacking each opponent with 1 creature each. So How do we make use of this? One, we use creatures that are unblockable that are going to have combat damage triggers or just combat damage triggers overall. That's great because now we can give those things double strike. They can't be blocked anyway, so let's double strike through with them. My brother has a deck that is built around the rogue from New Capenna Commander that is all about this, right? Like creatures that are unblockable, giving them all double strike, or whenever they deal damage to things, get huge benefits and stuff. And that's what you're looking for here. You just want to have, 3 out there, including potentially Jin Sakai, and then attack with all of them. Then we've also got benefits. This one here. So as I said before, whenever a creature you control attacks a player, if no other creatures are attacking that player, choose one. So if you create tapped and attacking tokens, those were not declared as attacking, therefore they are not relevant. So you can have Myriad on your things and it is fine. You will still get the benefits of Jin Sakai's ability. Or with stuff like Dorothea's Retribution, you are going to be able to create that tapped and attacking creature token. You're still attacking with that 4/4, but you're also making it so whatever you've got is unblockable or has double strike. It is insane because these things are not declared as attackers, therefore they do not, stop you from getting those benefits. And then finally, ninjutsu, or ninjutsu is amazing here, or stuff like Vorpal Sword, right? We're getting things that are unblockable. So unblockable Vorpal Sword, boom, you lose the game. Boom, you lose the game. It is incredible. It's really, really interesting. I love the idea of this where, you can choose that double strike or the unblockable. That is exactly what my brother's deck already does because it already gives something, what is it? +1/+1 and it connives or it gets unblockable. It's incredible. So yeah, there's a huge amount of different ways that you can potentially kind of make use of the fact that one, they aren't declared as aren't declared as attackers, and two, that those combat damage triggers. So yeah, I'd love to hear from you guys if you're going to pick any of these up, whether you're going to try and pick them up on, the Secret Lair website, or whether you're going to wait until they happen to get into your WPN. I hope you guys had a wonderful day, and goodbye.